todos, pues aquí estamos. Tiene tiempo que no hago una transmisión de vivo, estoy batallando bastante con el OBS, pero muchas gracias a todos los que están por acá. Seguramente va a estar por todos lados. Intentando recordar el chat, ya vi que ya todos y demás, pero we are back. Feel free to en English en chat, por favor, escriban en español si quieren en el chat también. Voy a estar hablando entre ambos idiomas, alternating between both languages. So I'm going to try and stream during the mornings every day. Escuchaba que estoy mucho. Gracias. Un segundo. Ahí se escucha mejor la música. Micrófono. Se escucha mejor. Is this better sound wise? Chat. I'm better. This music low enough. Just the BCG live music. Figure out how to put a different soundtrack. I'll try to figure that out for next time. Hey Destroyer, thank you so much. Greetings to you as well. Mi voz por lo menos se escucha mejor, se escucha más alta. Ay, no sé qué estoy haciendo. A ver, voy a pasar acá. En lo que intento configurar cosas, la verdad es que no sé. Siento que necesito otro monitor también. My mic is fucked up. Okay, is it better now? Is audio good now? Yeah, my mic is good. Thank you for the feedback. All right. How about now? Good with the audio? Okay, how about now? How about now for the music audio? Sorry, I just found something. Music audio good now? Ahora sí, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the feedback. I don't know what you guys are hearing. Is it better or is it good? I want it to be good. Yeah. Because I'm like, a lot of this content will go to YouTube and whatnot. I've been trying to figure everything out. Because the question is it good enough for like a video? Not good enough. Probably better. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Any issues, please let me know in the chat. All right. Welcome everyone. We're back to live streaming. Have a new goal for 2026 and figured December was a great month. It's usually a slower month in terms of coaching and in terms of there's no tournaments as well. There's no major tournaments, so I will be trying to live stream every day, at least not every day, Monday through Thursday. That's the plan. Monday through Thursday live streams, Monday and Wednesday mainly in English, though of course feel free to interact in any language in the chat and I'll respond appropriately. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays I will be live streaming mainly talking in Spanish, of course in the Spanish channel, and doing that. So that's the plan for now. My aim is to have 3-hour streams. I think that's a good goal. And then if I'm feeling like it and if I have the time, I'll also do Fridays. And if not, then I'll stick to these 4 days. All right. But that's the new plan. Gonna try and do something, go back to playing, go back to interacting more with people. And of course, thanks so much to everyone for the support. And so let's talk about the first thing in the agenda today. And probably the main thing that we will be doing today is we will be playing with the Stuttgart champion deck. This weekend we had Stuttgart regionals, the first Phantasmal Flames regional of the season. There will be a long pause between this one and the next one, which will be Toronto, and then afterwards Merida. So very excited and looking forward to those tournaments. But this tournament definitely set the tone. There weren't too many innovations or new deck archetypes doing well. We did have a Megalopony doing well overall, in general in the tournament, but unfortunately no new decks in the top 8. The top 8 was actually pretty standard: Goldengo, Charizard, and Dragapult pretty much. Gardevoir was missing once again from the top cut. I think that's been now a trend in Europe mostly, where there's very little Gardevoir doing too well at the very top. So it's interesting to see. But today we're going to be taking a look and playing with the Stuttgart Regional Champion deck, which was Charizard EX. Now, very unique build of Charizard, however, featuring the brand new card Dawn. Now, Dawn is this new supporter, of course, which lets us search for a basic Pokemon, a stage 1 Pokemon, and a stage 2 Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into our hand. Now, this goes really, really nicely with the whole Charizard, Noctowl, and Pidgeot engine, and of course Dusknoir and Terapagos. Like, Dawn just helps you, for example, if you're missing the Terra, Dawn can help you find Terapagos. Now you have your Terra, can help you find your Noctowl, so you can Jewel Seeker, and can help you find your stage 2 immediately, whether it's Pidgeot or Charizard, so you can Noctowl for a Rare Candy and a Stadium, for example, or whatever else. So Dawn being able to search for all these pieces just makes the stage 2 deck super consistent. We saw it on stream. The deck worked really well overall. I was very impressed with this engine. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is going to be a new standard. And honestly, I would not be surprised to see this sort of like Noctowl Dawn engine be incorporated into other stage 2 decks, which will possibly make them even more consistent, right? Usually stage 2 decks, they struggle with early aggression, they struggle to stay in the game, but of course, with the extra consistency that the Noctowl ability brings, then it makes sense that this card ended up being quite powerful. Now, another thing that could happen is we start seeing more Team Rocket's hideout as a response to this Dawn heavy Noctowl, heavy Pidgeot play that we could see. There's plenty of stage 2 that you could pair, not just Charizard, you could pair Hydreigon, you could pair Flygon, even like there's many Terra EXs or Terra stage 2s, and even just regular stage 2s that you could pair with this. Mega Gengar even could see some interesting combos. So this is probably something that will be worth exploring, that I will definitely be exploring with in the near future. Maybe even Dragapult could see some sort of opening with this sort of engine, because we also still have Dusknoir, right? We have 3 stage 2s in this, along with Noctowl, along with the early aggression of Terapagos, along with the Klefki ability denial. So you have your Poffins, you have your Nest Balls, you have your Ultra Ball, your Candies, and your Dawns. It all comes down to Pokemon search. And this honestly reminds me a little bit of like way back in the day when we had Celios Network or Brosans Research, all those powerful supporters that usually were very powerful in terms of Pokemon search, right? And a lot of engines relied on support Pokemon like Uxie or Claydol or the early quick search Pidgeot or Macargo, even Zoroark, right? A lot of these Pokemon dependent engines go really well with a powerful supporter card like Dawn. So we're excited to try this deck out. Of course, we have Boss's Orders, we have Prime Catcher as a race spec, which is pretty interesting. There's no counter catcher in this deck, which is also very unique, I would say. So a lot of interesting things about this. I have not played with this deck yet. The regional happened just yesterday, so I think now would be a great time to take a look at how the deck fares and just jump into a ladder, try to grind out some games and see how we do. Yeah, learn the deck together, and I think that is what we are going to do. So let's jump into PTG Live, not in Arceus rank yet. We're going to be playing probably only this deck now that I spent so much time trying to configure everything in the morning. We're going to try and make sure that we have a good time. We'll learn with the deck as well, and let's see what happens now. Things probably can cover the last thing. All right, so let me know if you see any issues, hear any issues in terms of the live stream, please. But for now, start with Terapagos. Let me turn down the sound effects a little bit. All right, so off to a pretty solid start. Fan Rotom is definitely going to be the key card. All right, so definitely want Fan Rotom and Charmander off of this. We have the Duskull as well. Now we have Pidgeys, we have Pidgeot, and I mean, even at this point, since I started Terapagos, I can Noctowl for the Dawn, right? To just like have a full setup. And you also have Fan Rotom, so the synergy between all these cards is just honestly really fantastic, and you can even have early aggression with the Terapagos as well. So I'm gonna go for the standard double Hoothoot plus Noctowl here. Did not price check. Yeah, I have a Pidgey price. That's gonna be Nest Balled into play. Else is priced. The Klefki is priced. A Boss's Orders is priced. That could be important for the future. A Dawn is priced as well. A Nest Ball. So I would say the boss's orders is probably the major card that is prized at this point in time. Let's go ahead and bench. I keep the Nest Ball. I could Nest Ball. No, right. I'm going to Nest Ball for the pitch. So the bench definitely at a premium, if you will, in this deck. I could already play the Area Zero and bench my Duskull, but I don't know what I'm up against just yet. And like I said, Team Rocket's Hideout is something that I feel like is a natural answer to this like heavy Noctowl, heavy Pidgeot play. So I would be very inclined to just keep the resources for now and go from there. Weapon starts off with an Arvin. I mean, that might narrow it down to like Grimmsnarl or Guardy, seeing the Monkey Dory start. Nest Ball and Herballoon. Probably Guardy. Probably the Guardy. No, it's just Mega Kangaskhan. Okay. Oh yeah, it could be Mega Kangaskhan Absol. That is also very likely. So yeah, no Team Rocket's Hideout shenanigans at this stage, which is really great to see. All right, so is everyone on YouTube? Are people on YouTube able to watch? Oh yeah, but yeah, okay, everything's good to go, I think. Yeah, thanks so much to everyone here for being here, for support, for being patient as well. Okay, so there is a Cornerstone Ogerpon that got the energy attached, but we have the perfect answer to that with Terapagos, so I'm not too bothered by that. Well, let's make a plan here though. Duskull, Dusknoir will probably be pretty important. However, they will also probably be playing a Psyduck. Now, they did not Crispin, they did not Technical Machine Energize. They're not really, well, I guess they are threatening knockout on the Charmeleon, but okay. I guess that was a big miss on my part, evolving into Charmeleon. I wanted to get energy into play, and now I can't. Noctowl has no way to search for energy. That's something that was automatic pilot. Oh, I can evolve because I have the Charmeleon. Should have thought this through. I need to get a candy. I need to start getting aggressive, start applying pressure. So I guess I can, never mind. I can absolutely find energy with Pidgeot, which is pretty good. Grabbing these two cards. Yeah, never mind. I will be able to go aggressive. I think I definitely now want another Charmander on the field, and I'll definitely grab the Noctowl and I'll grab the Pidgeot, get that established. So yeah, first game with this deck, we are all going to, or I am going to be learning, and hopefully you will be learning with me. Go ahead and candy into the Pidgeot. All right, we're going to go ahead and quick search. Loud and clear. Thank you, Victor. All right, let me go grab a... wonder if I should grab... I feel like the jet energies could be important, so I'm gonna grab the fire, which are also recoverable, right? And just apply pressure, right? 210 is a lot of damage. The Mega Kangaskhan are already threatening through prize cards. First turn Ogerpon doesn't KO Terapagos. Next turn, we'll see. Depending on what they're building into. If they get Trolley here, that would be pretty good for them. Yeah, I could go Boss, KO the Cornerstone. If that gets the second energy, I definitely wouldn't mind that. And Beagle, you're bilingual. You're wanting to start making competitive TCG content. Would you suggest making this in English or Spanish, or does it not really matter? So in general, depending on the time you have available, like that's definitely an important factor, right? Right now, I would say if it's competitive TCG content, there's a lot more English content than Spanish content. Yeah, especially like high caliber, high quality competitive Spanish TCG content is not readily available. Yeah, so if you were hoping to find a spot that perhaps not enough people are looking into, that would be my recommendation. Yeah, because the English competitive TCG content definitely has so many people doing it. But the most important thing is that you do content that you enjoy. I think if you do content that you enjoy and that is genuine, that's going to be the most important thing to be successful, if you will. All right, so my opponent did a boss stall, but did not realize that I have the agile ability. So, all right, I'm definitely gonna go into Terapagos. I don't have the knockout because the stadium got countered. Like, I don't have the knockout on the Ogerpon, but right now I don't need the Gale on the Ogerpon, right? I could like go Noctowl and extend my bench and possibly get there, but I don't think I need to. That's the thing, right? Like right now I'm just taking a prize, removing a resource from my opponent. I'm getting ahead without expending resources, and I think that's something that is very key, and that not enough people realize. It's like they see one thing that's threatening and they tunnel for it, right? And yes, it is threatening, but it's not necessarily threatening next turn. And I have plenty of ways to deal with it as well. So I can save my resources, especially since I priced up boss's orders. I only have one available and my Prime Catcher. It doesn't hurt to be extra cautious, if you will. Now, there's the boss's orders off the prices, so that's pretty good. Now we have 3 ghosting effects in case we ever need to get around the cornerstone. Yeah, that sort of thing is what I'm contemplating here, at least initially. Especially the Prime Catcher. The Prime Catcher is so important because it's our only way to realistically switch. Yeah, if my opponent had brought up the Charmeleon, then I probably would have been forced to evolve the Charmeleon, take the knockout, and then the cornerstone starts becoming not a problem, but a little annoying to deal with. Darby, todo bien, muchas gracias. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo andamos? So yeah, like I said, today will be English. Mondays and Wednesdays, mainly English stream. And there we have it, the win. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, mainly Spanish stream. But of course, in the chat, feel free to interact in English, Spanish, even Portuguese. I'm more than happy to interact, to talk with everyone and answer as many questions as I can. All right. Now in Ultra League, finally, I mean, that game didn't really show us much overall. Well, like having Noctowl and Pidgeot at your disposal every turn, or possibly like many turns, especially when setting up, feels pretty broken. And yeah, all you need is 4 Poffin, 4 Nest Ball. Pretty good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know it's early. I know many people in the like in the American continent, right? North and South America will be at work and whatnot. People in Europe might be getting out of work, so it's not my main audience, I guess. But yeah, I definitely have a lot easier afternoons, so this felt like a solid time to have a good time live streaming. I also know I need to make sure I don't tilt too much, because I tend to tilt when things don't go right. So I know I need to keep that in check. Though I feel like it's also, for some people, it's very entertaining to see someone get very angry on stream and whatnot. So, all right. I feel like this is gonna be a mirror match. Yes, I will be turning Merida. Alfredo, we just won the first game so far. This is only the second game we're playing. We are 1-0, so yes, we are winning. Hola, liking. And yes, I will be attending Merida. I was actually looking into the flight earlier, which is surprisingly expensive from Mexico City. Not sure if there's like a special holiday or something there. But yeah, I will definitely be attending Merida. I will be playing there, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so this Dawn is pretty powerful here. It gets us our Fan Rotom, and then we can Nest Ball for a Terapagos. I do feel like this is a mirror match, but the key thing like this is just based on like the popularity of the deck, right? Which just won the regional. So I'm expecting a mirror match, and therefore with no Charmander in play for my opponent, I don't think they can power up the Terapagos immediately, right? So let's go ahead and grab the Fan Rotom. Can go ahead and grab, ensure the Noctowl, and just go grab the Charizard. We're ready for next turn. And Fan Rotom can grab me another Hoothoot and the Pidgey. Hoothoot, Pidgey, grab the 50 HP just in case it matters. And then, I mean, I definitely have a leftover grab essentially. So I'm gonna grab the Hoothoot because I have the area 0. And now this is all banking on my opponent not playing a crazy card like Crispin, or this not being Terapagos, right? That's what I am hoping it isn't. I'll just go ahead and play the area 0 for the both of us. And no Duskull means I don't threaten the Terapagos, right? With the extra damage from the Dusclops activating, so I can deal the extra damage or whatnot. But that's fine. I feel like that's fine. We will survive. Hola, Arthur. Alright, so we see the Noctowl. This will definitely tell us more. This could tell us that we are in a lot of trouble because my opponent goes Crispin, knocks out my only attacker, and now I'm the one that can't power up whatsoever. Or this tells us we see our opponent bench a couple Charmanders, and we go on from there. Alright. See Dawn and Poffin. So, I mean, everything so far is telling us it's the same deck. So our price mapping, playing around Briar, trying to use Briar ourselves, the Dusknoir shenanigans, all of that is going to factor into play. So there's a double Charmander. We were correct in our analysis. Now there's the Dawn, such a powerful card in this particular deck. All right. What will they find? How's the music still? Oh, is there no music now? Probably isn't any music, right? Okay, now there should be. Hollow Knight music for the connoisseurs. All right. So honestly, plan here could be Prime Catcher, Fan Rotom Aggression on the Hoothoot or on the Duskull. I feel like if we have Duskull and my opponent doesn't, oh well, never mind. There we have it. Okay, well, this is not the worst case scenario. Maybe I shouldn't have played the R0 to help my opponent, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna respond with my own Fan Rotom, and I'm probably gonna do pretty much the exact same thing my opponent just did. So, all right, that Poffin is actually pretty huge. Definitely gonna establish our own Pidgeot, and well, we priced a Charmander. That's pretty bad. Oh no, never mind. I did not price a Charmander. I just can't get the 80 HP one at this point in time. So do I have to use a Noctowl? Yes, I do have to use a Noctowl if I want to use my Pidgeot to get a once AO here. So, all right. Now, like I said, okay, so if I go for there is a universe where my opponent could go Rare Candy Dusknoir, Rare Candy Charizard, and knock out both of my Charmanders. And that would probably put me in a lot of trouble. So I might be forced to use my Prime Catcher at this point in time, though that will really limit my Briar plays later down the line, which I'm not super happy about. But with my inexperience with this deck, this is what I think I should be doing. So I'll just go ahead and grab Charmander. I'll go ahead and grab the quick search. I do need the energy. I don't think he was saying that Dawn is trash. He was saying it was overrated, which, like if Dawn is specific to a specific deck, then sure. I think people were claiming like Dawn was going to be this huge 4-of in many decks. So far we're only seeing the development of the metagame. So I'm not sure we can say one way or the other. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely... That was a pretty powerful card with this specific engine, right? Is it good with other engines? That's the question. Yeah. But like, it's like the hype level for Dawn was here, and then people thought, some people said it was here, and then maybe it's here, right? So it's like, it's a pretty good card, not the end all be all card to win every game or whatnot. Okay, so similar setups overall, equal prices. Now my opponent has the, not the issue, but like the question mark of they don't have access to Dusknoir and I do. Now my hand is quite limited compared to theirs, so that could be a problem. But yeah, Dawn finding you Fezandipiti could also be good. Why is the Pokemon community so toxic towards me here in Mexico? I mean, I feel like you'll usually see or like maybe I don't I mean the people who are toxic towards me probably are not toxic towards me in person, right? They either do it anonymously online or they do it behind my back. However, I don't know. I mean, I know, so one thing that I know personally is that I'm not a good I'm a bad loser. Yeah, like that is 100%. I can't deny it, I can't hide it. I don't like losing and I get very emotional. And I mean, you see it in my videos, and it's hard for me to not be emotional during games. I always make sure that like it's never towards the player, it's always towards the the frustration within the game when things are not going too well. So yeah, I feel like people use that as a way to go off and say that I'm not deserving, I'm not blah blah blah. Yeah? That's probably part of it, yeah. And I know that, like myself, I am, yeah. It's just part of my personality. It's something I've been working on for many years. It's definitely better now than it was before, but I'm not perfect, and I'm very emotional, and my feelings just come up to the surface. I feel like that's part of it. Other things, I mean, I don't know. There's always going to be, when you're put in the spotlight, there's always going to be people who criticize you. There's always going to be people who are nice towards you. Just comes with the with the job, I guess. But yeah, I also probably don't find out as many things as other people, or I don't hear as many things as other people do with regards to everything, because they probably don't say it to my face, so I'm not sure. Yeah, this Charmander does have free retreat. When it doesn't have any energy attached, it does have free retreat. Okay, so my opponent has Prime Catcher in hand, and they went for the boss order on my Duskull. So they also recognize that that is definitely a powerful play, and this definitely limits my Dawn usage. Yeah, so yeah, it does feel like I am behind, and I don't know if there's anything I can do about it at this point in time. Now I don't have extra damage. Now they have the double Duskull, so they can burst the damage and I can't. So I have to make a decision. Do I go aggressive into maybe the Terapagos? And then if they take 2 prizes, like I could Noctowl for Candy plus boss, and then quick search for Noctowl, maybe, or quick search for Duskull. All right, so I think, well, my opponent could they Briar? They don't have Noctowl, so I think that's the biggest thing here. I think the biggest thing is my opponent not having Noctowl. So if I bench this guy, I go Candy Balls of the Noctowl, them pulling off a Briar play might not be as easy because, yes, they have a decent hand. Right, they have a big hand size, but they don't have Noctowl, whereas I do. So I think that's what I'm going to play towards. They could go... We'll see. I mean, it feels like I'm behind. It feels like I have to do a big play. So set myself for a potential Briar win next turn on their Charizard. Doesn't seem bad at all. I'll leave my free retreat Charmander on the bench. Those are very limited energies to work with. I feel like the game's not gonna last. Either I think my opponent could possibly win next turn, or I could. I'm just gonna commit the energies already. Go ahead and retreat. And I'll go ahead and boss KO their Terapagos. Would be awesome if they didn't have the Charizard already. Then I could limit their bench, which I guess they discard that to Noctowls and probably the Fan Rotom. But okay, so the way for my opponent to play around Briar is to go ahead and knock out the Duskull once again, right? If they don't KO Duskull, then if they KO anything else, I can pop Dusklops and Briar to possibly get a KO. And if they knock out my Charizard by popping their own Duskulls, they need like... What do they need? They need to go Dusklops, pop, play Briar, Dusklops, pop, take a prize. So like they need... No, I think they need Candy Dusknoir as well. I don't think they can win this turn. I'm not exactly sure. I'd rather not talk about the Gabriel Fernandez situation at this point. Judges made their decision, and that's that. I was working at the event, but I don't have all the information. I'm part of the production. I'm not part of the judging team, so I don't know. Yeah, I can't really say much at all. Well, there's the Dusknoir. So now they can. Do they really have Dusknoir, Dusklops, Briar? No, okay, they're going after my Charizard. Oh wait, no, that's enough, right? Dusknoir, Briar, win. So they must have been missing one piece that Fezandipiti found for them. Hey, Jonathan, we are playing... Oh, interesting. So they hadn't fest yet. They just committed the Dusknoir for no reason. They don't have... Oh, wait, no, Briar doesn't win them. What am I saying? I think this is our game to lose now. We are playing the Charizard winning deck from the Stuttgart Regionals. I did not get the Charizard staff playmat this time around, unfortunately. I just got the Mega Venusaur. I did not get the Charizard staff, unfortunately. Yeah, so the broadcasts are always weird, and it's not usually... We don't usually get the staff stuff. It's only if there's leftover, because all the other staff get priority. Alright, so my Pidgeot is now gone, but between... Oh, but I don't have Noctowl. I can't Dawn. Oh wait, I don't need Briar. I was thinking Briar. I don't need Briar. I was looking at my opponent's prize cards. They're at 4. I'm at 2. I just need Dawn. Okay, well the Iono is annoying, so I need Dawn or Noctowl now. Oh, that's not it. That is not it. Okay. This is pretty bad now. So I need... Let's repeat. I need a huge top deck here. That does it. Sure thing. That does it. Dusklops, pop. My opponent's at 1 prize card. And I knock their Charizard out. Hey. So, what top decks did we have? We had Noctowl, we had Dusklops, we had Ultra Ball. We had What else? We had Dawn. I think there was a Dawn left. We had Fez to try to find something. Yeah, we didn't have too many options, but we didn't have too many outs. But we got there. So honestly surprised. I felt like my opponent had me against the ropes. I think the biggest thing was because they got the double Duskull to prevent me from knocking out one of them, I guess. They didn't have that Hoothoot to get the combo they needed to pull off the Briar knockout. I think that was the thing. They needed a lot, and with only quick search, it just wasn't enough. Yeah, I am going to Merida for sure. I'll be playing there. I'll be in Toronto. Yeah, clutch top deck for sure. I'll be going to Toronto, and I'll be going to Merida. Come on. All these rewards. Okay. I want to play more. Yeah, we're undefeated so far, 2 for 2. We lost our Charmander in turn 1, our only Charmander in turn 1, and then we were still able to get there, so that was pretty cool. De Real Laritz, muchas gracias, un abrazo hasta España, para ti también. GG, that's pretty good. Was that you? All right. Wonder if there was anything I could have done to better prepare against the against the Briar. Sorry, against the Iono. I feel like I needed the Duskull, right? Maybe I could have quick search for Fez. But then if I don't have Duskull, my opponent only takes 1 prize card. No, but then I can't just go boss. No, I can't go boss KO because they don't have Terapagos anymore. So, I mean, maybe it was correct. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, at this point, I'm not entirely sure. Hey, Josh. Yes, everything is going well. Thank you so much. Hope everything's going well for you. Thank you for stopping by. Very nice to hear from you. Best regards to you and your family. Alright. Now we're on to Baxcalibur. These are the sort of decks that you will encounter sometimes in the ladder. Okay, my opponent with a pretty awful start. There's no way to KO the Frigibax. We don't have a stadium, and even if we did, we don't have we can't play Prime Catcher to switch. So okay, I have the Fan Rotom, but I don't even need Fan Rotom. I have the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I think I'm gonna save myself the bench space. I'm gonna grab these two. Alright, there is a universe where my opponent goes Candy, Baxcalibur, Ogerpon, 3 Waters, I guess. I mean, they probably have to research or Iono into exactly that. Iono into Candy Bax, 3 Waters, Ogerpon. No, but then they can't even retreat. So you need to research into that and then extra energy or the stadium that switches water Pokemon. So far pretty good. Thank you, Josh. That's so kind. It blows my mind that that you would do that. Say hi to everyone in your class for me. And yes, this deck is indeed very wild. Dawn with Pidgeot and Noctowl feels pretty broken. Does feel pretty broken. The fact that Dawn, like if you're missing the Terra, no problem. Dawn just finds you your Terra basic. That's huge, right? Okay. So now things are gonna get a lot more interesting. If he pulls it off, I will be surprised. I mean, for the content, I honestly would love to see him pull it off. I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, clearly it's not gonna happen, but for the content, I would love to see my opponent research into exactly those 7 cards. Alright, so now we have a choice. And so, knocking out an Arctibax still leaves the Frigibax, obviously. That Candy top deck just makes things even more broken. I feel like either I could, once again, keep my resources and not go overboard and just knock out the Frigibax, or it does feel like it's worth it to go after the Dunsparce. Now, I don't think I want to use my Prime Catcher for that, so I'm Noctowl for Boss Candy. I'm just gonna quick search for the Charizard. Gonna keep it simple for now and not stress too much. I didn't price check with the Poffin. That's probably a good time to do that. No energies priced, that's good. One candy priced, one Iono priced, nothing too major that I could see. That obviously not being very thorough, but that's okay. And then we have Dawn, we already have Pidgeot, so things are looking pretty good. Now my opponent can't knock out Charizard and Charmander as far as I know. I don't think there is a Pokemon that lets you do 330 damage to the active and 80 to the bench. I don't think so. I'm gonna keep the energies in the deck available now. Keeping the switching resource, well, very important. And clearly my opponent doesn't have the best hand overall. Well, I guess technically I don't know that, but this limits a lot of potential plays that they could do just based on limiting their card availability. So can they even take any of my toss if I bench them? Probably not. Maybe I could have prioritized that. Prioritize benching Duskulls this turn instead of limiting the Dunsparce. When you see the Dunsparce, yeah, like now we see the Hilda. Yeah, I'm gonna guess like when people are playing the Dunsparce, they're gonna be playing more Surge supporter cards, right? So it's less likely that they have like an explosive turn right now. Of a Hilda, of a Dawn perhaps, if they don't have the Dunsparce. We see the Enriching Energy onto the Qianpao, which I kind of like. The Qianpao is pretty safe. Probably don't play Penny, right? To reuse it. I'd be surprised if they did have Penny to reuse it. All right. Triple Frigibacks now. So this is a turn where I'm going to prioritize setting up, having that double Duskull so I can go crazy. Maybe get a Charmeleon into play as well. Knocking out Excalibur would be nice. That's my opponent gonna beat. I guess hitting the Qianpao for 180 is also pretty fine because then I can just knock it out with Dusclops later. And do a multi-price turn sort of thing. I could also, Jet Energy, Terapagos. No, I can't. Well, I can. If I attach the third fire to a Terapagos, which, hindsight, yeah, that's probably what I should have done. Because then that opens up the possibility to go widen my bench, Jet Energy into the Terapagos, knock out the Qianpao. Is there a universe where we get KO'd here? That'd be pretty funny. Okay. Another option is to just go boss KO the Excalibur as well. I don't mind that too much. Forces my opponent to have another Excalibur, which if they had, I feel like they would have already candied into. Maybe that's a play I kind of like. It does leave my board pretty in a pretty weird spot. Like if I don't do that and I just hit into a Qianpao, my opponent's getting 3 prizes in exchange for their 2. Right? So that's the sort of thing that I'm thinking about right here. Now, this might be the turn to go Prime Catcher so that I can Dawn and just have a much more threatening board. I could still do the Terapagos play, knock out on the Qianpao if I commit to another Candy Charizard, which honestly, Dawn is so good. The more I think about it, I think I'm liking that the most. Just having a huge bench. Okay, for my stage 1, want this. I get nervous every time I see the Terra effect go off there. Kind of like the Fez, I guess. Or it could just be another Hoot, honestly. And okay, so that play is not available because my other Charizard is priced. So that's bad news. Okay. So we're gonna go after the Excalibur then. Because I didn't price check, I didn't realize well, I did price check, I didn't notice the other Charizard was priced. So we need an area 0 here, and let's go ahead and grab another Dawn, I guess, for future potential turns. Area 0. Let's go double Duskull, so we can threaten more powerful things next turn. Game. We'll have our quick search, which should be a Charmeleon. And I go Prime Catcher on the Excalibur, and sure, if my opponent gets Rare Candy Excalibur again, it's fine, right? Yes, our Charizard would go down, but that's not a problem because our Charizard that is worth 2 prizes took 2 prizes itself, so pretty good. What are my thoughts on the Lopunny Dusknoir deck? Is it going to be meta or just a one-time thing? So I think it's definitely going to be meta. The best lists probably haven't been figured out yet. But I think this is usually something that happens a lot. It's like the cards that are released at the later stages of a format, such as the Mega Evolutions, and now Phantasmal Flames, of course, with all its Mega Evolutions and other key cards. If they don't want to power creep like all the previous cards, then they're balanced, right? And once we lose the big 3, which are Guardy, Charizard, and Golingo, and probably Raging Bolt from the format because they lose the supporters, that is when we are going to see a huge change in the dynamic, and an aggressive deck such as Lopunny Dusknoir will probably be a lot better. So I think that's like, right now we're in this weird situation where the newer cards from the Mega Evolution format onwards are designed with like future formats in mind. Of course, they still fit into this one sort of, but they're being outclassed, right? That's why we still see Guardy dominate. That's why we still see Charizard dominate. That's why we see Goldingo just keeps getting better and better with these new cards, right? But eventually when these cards are no longer there, especially like the big 1-hit KO options, we're gonna see a lot more variety, I want to think, in terms of decks. Especially because there's so many Dragapult counters being printed with the Stadium, with there was something else. It was with Psyduck, right? So you want to keep Dragapult in check and then let other things have some sort of flow. So is it going to be meta right now? Maybe not at the very top, yeah, because in power level it doesn't feel as like Lopunny Dusknoir doesn't feel better than Charizard Dusknoir, right? Lopunny is worth 3 prizes, has the same HP I think, and has a damage limit, whereas Charizard doesn't. Yeah, so it's hard to justify playing Lopunny over Charizard. Right, back into a game. The opponent did get the Excalibur set up, did get the knockout, but we are tied 4-4. So what happens now? I get my next Charizard, I use Terapagos to knock out the Chimpao, and then all that matters is going KO on the Fezandipiti, and we are good to go. Or is there a universe where I can win this turn with a Briar or with Dusknoir usage? I would need like double Candy Dusknoir. Probably not. I'm going to start with Fez, because I do need Night Stretcher, which I don't have actually. I need Super Rod. If I'm going to do anything this turn, I need to Super Rod back the Charizard. That is step number 1, so maybe that's what I lead with. Okay, so getting a win here, definitely not going to happen. I think. No, it's definitely not going to happen. We need Night Stretch, which I don't have. Alright, but that's fine. I don't need to win this turn. I just need to take 2 prizes. If I take 2 prizes and I have enough attackers powered up to establish 2 more prizes after, or to take 2 more prizes later, that's good enough. So yeah, maybe I just Dawn. It would be nice to pull this off without like being able to use Iono. If I don't draw Charizard off this fast, I would need to Dawn, no what. Or I could just Dawn now. I feel like that's gonna be better. Just not guarantee the game, but basically guarantee the game. Okay, I'll grab the Charmander, sure. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and power up. I'm gonna power up the Terapagos and the Charizard. And I'm gonna use Terapagos this turn. Because Charizard doesn't have a damage limit. Right? And this makes it so much harder for my opponent to knock out my Terapagos next turn. Sorry, the Charizard next turn because it's on the bench. That's sort of the plan. And yes, I mean I'm not in the boat of like I can't wait for a card to rotate. I feel like once Guardy rotates, there's gonna be another new top deck that people will just complain about. So I would definitely encourage you to like change the mindset of like, if you want to be more competitive, right, and you want to head into tournaments, don't hate any deck. Just focus on getting better. Yeah, and like the fact that there's a lot of Guardies and Guardies so popular means you can focus on, you don't want to play the deck, make sure you have a game plan against it, and you can do something against it. Yeah, that's the sort of like, I would definitely encourage a change in mindset. Yeah, because once Guardy rotates, there's going to be other powerful top decks that will dominate the format. And there's no working around that. Like before it was Guardy, it was Dragapult before rotation. And before Dragapult, it was Guardy, and then it was Charizard. Like there's always decks that people will complain about forever. So yeah, I mean, maybe 3 years is too long for an archetype to be really, really good. There's an argument for that, for sure. Overall, I would say, like, after Guardy, there's going to be another deck that's going to dominate tournaments and probably going to win a lot. Yeah, so either you accept it or just focus on, like I said, getting better at the game, or you just work on, I don't know, like hating on one deck is something that as a competitive player, I've never, I understand why it happens. I just feel like complaining about one deck or hating about one deck doesn't help you win your tournament. If that deck is so good, either play it, yeah, and win yourself, or since it's so obviously good and many players will be playing it because it's so obviously good, just make sure you have a good strategy against it, because then you'll have a good time. Yeah, one or the other. You never played Gardevoir until recently and you won 2 cups with it. Yeah. You wish you started sooner. So I think that's another thing. Like, if you hate a deck, you probably haven't played with it and you probably haven't won with it. I feel like it's very easy to just, like, if you start playing with that deck and you start winning with it, no matter which one it is, you will enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Alright, so there we have it. Another solid win. Obviously, we haven't played against. We did play a mirror match. What was the previous game? I forgot. Obviously, this is not a meta deck. I mean, it is a deck that exists. Not a very good meta deck overall. Get our energy back. Let's just go boss's orders. Let's just also quick search for Briar as well. Win the games, but not 2 prizes. And there we have it. Yeah, another solid win for this deck. Not too bad. All right. So that's what, 3-0, I think. I'm not sure. Yes, Guardy does limit what we can play. Yeah, so this will happen. Yeah, once rotation happens, many decks that are not shining right now will shine eventually. I definitely wish we had I definitely wish we had rotation earlier, like we had rotation in January, at the end of January, because our next format is going to be one of those awkwardly long formats. So yes, I agree. I agree that Guardy is definitely limiting things in terms of being creative, yeah. And if your approach is like having more fun at tournaments and whatnot, I completely understand. You know? I have the most fun when I'm winning, so if Guardy is the very clear best deck, which I don't think it is anymore, since there's many other decks winning, but we're definitely very focused on like the same 4 or 5 decks at the very top. How's the deck feeling? Pretty good, honestly. Probably not playing it optimally. These are my first games ever with it, and it does feel pretty good. I like it. Nikolai called this deck a cheat code. Yeah, I can see why why he would say that. Dawn does feel pretty broken. Like, I'm gonna search for 3 Pokemon with Fankle, 3 more with Dawn, 2 more with Poffin. I already have 2 candies in my hand. We're playing against the same Chien-Pao player. There's no threat of Wellspring Ogerpon, which is pretty nice. And okay. So now I definitely want at least 1 Duskull so that I can threaten KO on the Chien-Pao next turn. And I do like this, and then my hand's pretty good with double candy and the Dawn, and I'm not expecting an Iono from my opponent. I'm gonna grab these, even though I don't have the space for the other Hoothoot, because I do want to get the Pidgey. Now, if I'm not expecting Iono, why not just Dawn, right? If I am expecting Iono, then I should hold the Dawn, but I'm gonna hedge on my opponent not having the thing. Alright, I'm just gonna grab the Pidgeot. Oh, I don't have a Terra. Oh my gosh, I just did the thing. Okay, well, never mind. I can get a Terra with Pidgeot. So maybe securing it with Charizard is probably better. Okay, that was a mistake. I couldn't get a Terra anyways. Oh, I could get it with Dawn. Okay, so definitely getting a little convoluted here. I mean, 5 bench space is so low for this turn, though. You want your cake and you do fun and winning. I agree. I mean, that's the best combo. Yeah, but I assure you, winning leads to fun. Yeah, you can have a fun deck, and if you keep losing, you're probably not gonna have as much fun. At least not I don't have fun when I'm. Is Mega Absol gone or still alive? Probably still alive. Like, I can't imagine this deck, for example. Like, this deck should still struggle a little bit with Cornerstone. Maybe the way you adapt with Mega Absol is like more stadiums, so that Terapagos is no longer such a big threat. Though it is annoying that the deck has it. An option now to deal with Cornerstone. I would say it's still alive. Can't imagine it going away just like that. After one set that didn't bring any new archetypes. It's just a matter of like finding the right build, right? And what usually happens is like Stuttgart sets the base. So now that you have the base of the format, now decks know what to adapt to, right? Like before Stuttgart, you probably never tested a single game against this deck. However, after Stuttgart, this deck will have a huge focus on it. And therefore, you definitely need to account for it. So that's the sort of thing that you need to keep in mind. How good does Terapagos art look to be for Toronto? I mean, deck's flowing pretty well. I haven't played against too many. I did play a mirror match, which I'm honestly surprised I won. Okay, so let me just think this through. Definitely want to do this. I think I like carrying the fridge packs now. So get the fire on the Fan Rotom. Now I have my Terra. Now I can use Noctowl. And I get Stadium plus boss. Oh, that leaves me pretty unprepared though. So maybe I just knock out the Qianbao instead. And just make sure I have Pidgeot set up, right? With another Dawn. So that's gonna be the plan, right? So now I can do this. I mean, I guess I still can. Damn, this deck is so broken. Prime Catcher, I feel like makes this deck so broken. Yeah, because I generally could grab these. But I'm going to take it cool. We're just going to deal with, well, my opponent has a huge hand, so maybe not actually. You know what? I want to grab these two. I mean, I guess still... Dawn gives me the stadium anyway. Alright, so let's get the Pidgeot and Charmeleon. And for our basic, the Duskull. Right. Now, it's not all these Champos, it's the same person. I just ran into them twice in the ladder. Are we back in Temporal Forces? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe you are looking at a stream from the past. Alright, so I do want the stadium for sure. I can get another Hoothoot. I can get another Duskull down. Maybe even the Terapagos. I want these. Question is, do I go for the Terapagos? Is there a... No, my Charizard can't get knocked out, so I don't need another Terra right now. I don't want anything else, or do I just save the... If I bench Fez and my opponent counter stadiums, I would have to discard Rotom, Noctowl, and something else that's probably valuable. So I'm gonna keep it for now, not overdo it. Knocking out my opponent's only Frigibax, so clearly nothing threatens us next turn. Now we have Dusclops threat. Just keep attacking on the Qianbao. So things are looking pretty good. Is this 2023? Maybe. Maybe we are looking into the past. Yeah, this is definitely a throwback, right? When Qianbao Excalibur was actually a real deck. Alright, well, there's the double Frigibax, which we can still deal with, potentially. My opponent goes for the boss on a Pokemon that can retreat, so that doesn't make much sense. Okay, so if I go quick search for Noctowl for... Oh, my opponent's gonna knock out my Dusclops. Okay. Alright, well. Bye-bye Dusclops. Which, not the end of the world, for sure. Glad I didn't play the Nest Ball, though. I think that's pretty major, because I would be having to discard either the Fez, which I just grabbed, or something else. Thornton was... Yeah, if Thornton was still in format, this would be... Alright. So, with the right Fez draw, I could still knock out both Frigibax. So what do I need? Candy, Dusknoir, Boss, right? Basically Noctowl. Dusknoir, Boss. Alright, so let's jump into it. Let's see what we get. The unknown cards first, and then afterwards we will make our final plan. Alright, no help of the Fez to get there. That means now my only option, like the only way to let me think this through. If I knock out the Qianbao, Candy Max Regigigas could actually be pretty scary. Wondering if on fire. Good. It's not good. Okay. I have my quick search. mean, now it has to be this, right? Oh, should be Dawn. No, Dawn. Price? No, I didn't price. Just don't. Wait, did I price? No, I did not. Okay, I'm definitely all over the place here. Maybe it's Iono. Maybe it's Iono. Hank. My opponent's hand is huge. Like, if I don't take a prize, my opponent's chances of setting everything up are pretty low. I wish it's something I could do 10 freaking damage. Okay, so if I had thought this through a little bit more, yeah. Probably would have evolved into, played the stadium, evolved into Charizard whilst having a Terapagos down, benched all 3, attached the Jet. I'd have knockout on the Qianbao whilst Ionoing my opponent. That is no longer an option. So yeah, the timer definitely got to me a little bit. Hey Logan, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while. Alright, we did get the Noctowl. So I can still knock out the Qianbao. Will give my opponent extra cards. An extra card here, which I don't think I mind too much. Give them a prize. They're at 4. I take a prize. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, I want to do this just to thin, because I literally don't have anything better. Okay. Did get the Noctowl pretty good. That was a Terra Nest Ball. Yeah, every card I play is a Terra. Alright, so let's grab the Night Stretcher. Yep, see, Terra Night Stretcher. I'm gonna grab this Super Rod. I will need Fire Energy next turn, plus Briar possibly to win here. Actually, no, I'll play it now. Get back these dude. Fire and Duskull, I guess. But yeah, I should have waited on the Poffin. I'm all over the place right now. Apologize for that. Okay, there's the Dusclops. And then, yeah, this one of these should be another Duskull for sure. And a Hoothoot. Probably. Alright, that's fine. I feel like we're not guaranteed, but we have options. Okay, so this 5 will go to the... Does it matter? I don't think it matters. Alright, let's do the Gigas. If I had another Duskull, it would matter. But because I don't, then it doesn't matter. Alright. Then treats, and now we're hitting for 240. And that's a knockout. So the opponent has a 6-card hand. They could go Candy Backs, 4 energy on Gigas. Take a knockout. That would be pretty bad. Then, okay, Fire Energy off the top. That's pretty nice. Then we go Iono, KO the Gigas, and hope they can't get another attacker powered up. They didn't even promote the Gigas. So that is a tell on the strength of their hand, I guess. You're debating between Zard or Charizard to your cop. Honestly, this deck feels pretty broken. This is like Zard, but better. It feels. Like maybe you miss Chiyu. That's like the big card that you were missing. Alright, I'm gonna keep the Fan Rotom. Maybe I want to attack with that. Right. It's better at keeping a Noctowl in play. In case I'm gonna go Quick Search Jet, Fan Rotom, KO the Frigibacks. That doesn't seem bad. So what does this event do? Switch their active Pokemon water Pokemon to one of their benched water Pokemon. Yeah, so he can only go between Frigibacks. And if my opponent doesn't take a KO this turn, we're pretty safe. That should be game. But especially once I attach this fire to the Charizard. Cypher Maniac means with no way to draw off of it, should mean game. But yeah, I mean, so Charizard has everything Charizard has, right? Minus the Chiyu. I think that's like the missing piece, you could argue. The powerful fire type single price attacker, that's like the missing piece here. Other than that, I mean, Noctowl's pretty powerful. I think the main card, just thinking on how powerful or popular this deck is probably going to be within the next few weeks at COPs, at challenges or whatnot, a third stadium I think would make me a lot more comfortable with regards to counteracting Team Rocket's hideout. And if you think this deck is going to be popular and powerful at your next events, if you're not playing it, consider Team Rocket's hideout as a way to try to combat it. And even if you can't find it on turn 1, shutting down the abilities on a future turn combined with Iono, could be pretty nice. So maybe in something like Dragapult even. I feel like Dragapult is probably the most versatile deck to play it, and you also benefit from it. You benefit from it from the I lost my train of thought. You benefit the stadium, you benefit off it by shutting down Noctowl and Terapagos and Rage Bolt, which are problematic matchups in general. So maybe a one-off is not bad. And yeah, I do feel like this deck is definitely, like, it makes sense, right? It's a fresh new build, it's very powerful, clearly demonstrated. It's not like Mega Lopunny, right? It's like Mega Lopunny was 7-0, I think, at the regional this weekend. And it didn't make top card. It also wasn't widely played. So, but this deck has like the strength, the popularity, the hype, all of it going for it. Okay, that was such a long turn for my opponent, though I realize I've taken a long time in my turns as well. All right, we already have the Briar in hand. And this is what I mean, like, Quick Search boss is probably just win more, right? And I want to see a big turn by my opponent. I'm at 2 prizes, and then I just knock out their Qianbao, or just Briar knock out the Gigas. So, I mean, sure, I'll quick search. I don't think I want to quick search for like a bad card. Well, I mean, something that could maybe delay me. And I'm just gonna take knockout. Done to the prizes. My opponent knocks me out with Gigas, I Briar win. My opponent knocks me out with Qianbao, I attack and win. Pretty decided overall. Yeah. Looking good so far. Now, I don't know if my alerts are not working, or if I didn't set them right. I haven't heard one since the beginning of the stream. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not working. So Momo TCG, Kana Baby, Relas, thanks so much for following. And Momo TCG, you subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Muchas gracias, Momo. Te lo agradezco mucho. Sorry, my alerts are not working. I'll make sure or try to get them working. I don't know why they're not working. Check on YouTube if there's any alerts to highlight. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone who's tuning in here or on Twitch. Really appreciate it. And yeah, so I don't know why my alerts are not. I have to check that after a stream. So slowly but surely getting there. I'll message Momo because I was yeah, missing subscriptions is usually not great. I don't know why they're not working. They were working in the beginning and then they shut down afterwards. Alright, so my opponent doing a lot of things, none of which will stop me from winning. Oh, they did appear. Yeah, like they didn't appear on screen, did they? Yes, I am on OBS, and I have my browser source with my Streamlabs alert box thing, but I don't know why it did not work around. And I even tested them yesterday. They did not work. Right, Charizard into Briar into the win. I even have, yeah, I have my 2 bosses sorted. So Briar and 300 damage. Take an extra prize card. Gee. Alright, still undefeated with this deck. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna let a few seconds pass before I click next game. Just to make sure that I don't run into the same Chien-Pao deck. So 1 second. You submitted Charizard to Amy's tournament. Pretty nice. Yeah, so let me check. Currently 5 win streak. It might be 4 wins. Might be 4 wins in a row, or it might be 5. I'm honestly not sure. I don't remember the last time I played. Like, I played PCG live yesterday, but I don't remember if I won or lost the last game. Chien-Pao player waiting a second. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that happens, right? All right. Hopefully not Chien-Pao. Yeah, I mean, you can see why Chien-Pao is no longer a viable top tier deck, right? It's like, you just need so much, and it doesn't have a true engine going for it. Although, I will say, maybe this Dawn Terapagos engine is the way to go with Chien-Pao now. I mean, you have the Wellspring Ogerpon, right, as your Terra of preference. It's also pretty powerful. I could see the biggest issue being like finding water energies, enough water energies to pull it off, but of course you have earthen vessels. There was that one time which I even played the deck to a cup, the like straight Chien-Pao with Terapagos and like the glass trumpet thing to get energies into play and energy switches and power up Chien-Pao that way. But maybe the new stage 2 possibility, like the stage 2 engine with Pidgeot, Noctowl, Baxcalibur, into these water types with Wellspring Ogerpon, maybe there's something there to be experimented with. I don't know. Maybe there's something there. All right, so we are heading into hour 2. So my plan, for those of you who might just be tuning in, my plan is to live stream. Oh, you know what? I probably should set. I don't think I set the game. Set to category Pokemon trading card game, but not trading card game live. Live. Okay, so Mondays and Wednesdays, mainly talking in English. Tuesdays and Thursdays, mainly talking in Spanish. But of course, in the chat, feel free to ask away in any language you would like, and I will make sure to answer accordingly. Okay, so now we're up against Dragapult, a real deck. We don't have a Terra, or do we have access to one right now? We have multiple Poffins, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Fan Rotom to get water for the Terapagos on the bench, right? So I have another Hoothoot. I definitely would like a Pidgey. I want Hoothoot, Pidgey, or Duskull Pidgey. I think Hoothoot. This is a Pidgey. Oh, well, I'm not gonna be able to candy them. I don't want the 50. But I will. I probably won't be able to. That's a big deal. So sure. With those two, we will Fan Rotom for Noctowl. And the other Fan Rotom for Pidgey, and these are my 2 discards, and I get to keep the Hood around. Alright, this is where Dawn is really gonna shine though. I probably won't be able to threaten the 3P in the upcoming turn. I'm gonna have to go like back-to-back Dawn, unless I top deck an energy. Or threaten 3P or even threaten the Badu. I'm gonna commit the energy. So another thing, if I had Latias, then I could actually threaten. I could threaten next turn, because you could Dawn for Latias to then get the free tree, right? That doesn't sound terrible, in my mind. Doesn't sound terrible. Does this build include Tatsu? No. This is the 60 card deck list that won that won Stuttgart yesterday. Yeah, so I have not made any changes. It's something I always advise people. Like, I see people who grab a deck and then a regional winning deck, and they immediately make some changes, and then they go play it, and they're like, "Ugh, this doesn't work." And it's like, well, you just changed the regional winning deck. Probably don't want to do that if you haven't played enough games. Sorry. So no changes yet. A third stadium, thinking that maybe Team Rocket's hideout is something that people want to play later down the line. Is something that's in the back of my mind. I could also, I don't think this deck plays Lily. It could Iono, but like I'd rather just guarantee. Like I'd rather just guarantee setup, no matter what. Just back-to-back Dawn. Get a Charmeleon. My opponent's not threatening much. Wish I could get a Pidgeot here. So, but yeah, third stadium, thinking that people will want to play the. You know what? I'm gonna grab a Duskull. Third stadium, thinking people are gonna want to counter this with the Team Rocket's hideout. So that's the sort of thing that's in the back of my mind at this point in time. Probably third area 0. Yeah, area 0 is too good. Or this deck synergizes with everything, and like you always want more bench space, it feels. Alright, we're gonna bench those two, and then maybe we can triple stab into the win. Nah. 10 damage. What other languages do I speak? English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Portuguese, nowhere near as close to English and Spanish, but I did live in Brazil and I've been practicing the last 10 years, so I feel like eventually in my Spanish channel, you're gonna see a Portuguese, like me commentating a game in Portuguese. Yeah, those are the 3 languages. Friday mainly in German. I mean, I'm sure there's some AI tool that could maybe let me do that, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, thank you, Logan. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, the 60, no Chiyu. That's another thing that I mentioned, Momo. Like, the big difference between this and the other. If I had grabbed balls, I could chase down the Dracloak. Between this and like regular Charizard is the lack of. Like my mouse got lower all of a sudden. The lack of Okay, something weird happened with my mouse. The lack of Chiyu. Now, one of the main differences between the decks. Okay. I wish I didn't have to commit all of this to just knock out a body. I don't see any other way. Alright. And I'm gonna Dawn something. I did something to my. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I just figured something out. Alright, I'm gonna grab Noctowl and. Okay, so I'm probably not gonna have access to Pidgeot this game. Just gonna go ahead and grab the Dusknoir. Get the bench Charmander, which is pretty nice. And just take the knockout. Far so good. 180 damage, body gets knocked out. Attack is misplay because of Monkey. True, if I played Monkey, but I feel like at this point you can, like, an important thing is knowing that Oh, it's misplay on my part? Fair enough. Fair enough. I could see. I mean, for the content, right? I wanted to get triple heads to knock out the body. Alright. Pretty simple win. Pretty straightforward. Alright. Oh, you know what? Maybe Blaziken NEX. Maybe this is the engine that Blaziken NEX needs in order to succeed. Maybe this is the way. Alright. Let's do one more. Playing so long with a deck, not sure. I think it's like, it's the only way to really like get a true feel for it. Like I said before, like my recommendation is after a regional, don't change things. I played at least 5 games, probably at least 10, ideally 20 with the regional winning deck. Understand it, get a feel for it, make mistakes with it, learn from the mistakes, then go from there. Yeah, see it get played on when you go second a lot. See it get played when you go first a lot. I feel like I've been going second a lot. Alright, my deck just Terra evolved. Okay, so this is an interesting decision. I'm going second, which is obviously pretty good. Don't have a Poffin, but I can Dawn for a Charmander. So if I want to start getting aggressive, it's probably with Terapagos. And I'll probably need this to work anyways. I'm gonna, yeah, sure, I'll start. I was thinking of like maybe hiding the Terapagos for a turn and like having it on the bench and jet energying into it to not give information to my opponent initially. We're up against Gardevoir, so hopefully this ends up being a good match to showcase. It's a good one. Alright. Ultra Ball. The one Bravery Charm gone is actually cool for us. Not for my opponent, but pretty cool for us. A Ralts benched. Okay. A Stadium top deck would not have helped in any way. Alright, so if I go for Fan Rotom, I can't establish a Charizard. The question is, do I need a Charizard so early? I'm gonna have Terapagos aggression. Because Fan Rotom definitely opens up like multi Noctowl, multi everything plays. If I go for Charmander and Noctowl, I mean, I probably would need Candy Guardy. But do I need a Charizard next turn? That's what I'm thinking about, right? I feel like the answer is no. You know what? I definitely won't need a Dusknoir. I will grab the Pidgeot. Important. I do not price check. Alright. I think second Pidgey would be a little too careful at this point. So let's Hoothoot. Let's grab. Probably double Noctowl. Not super happy because if I do get Iono, that's 2 Noctowls at the bottom of my deck. And go ahead and attach energy to a Terapagos. If my opponent plays Iron Bundle or Boss, then I still have the Jet energy. Go back in there. I threat the knockout on the Ralts as well. And it is the Iono. I was rooting for Lily, but hoping for Iono. And yes, I also fully expected Secret Box. I agree, Momo. It does feel like part of our players tend to open up raw Secret Box in their hand without searching for it plenty of times. I feel like if they had it, they would have played it the previous turn. But they could have top decked it, right? Alright, so it's just gonna be the slap for 30. Okay, so now we are talking. We have our Dawn. We can grab Stadium, we can bench double Charmander, we can go crazy this turn, and we could even knock out the Ralts with our Prime Catcher if it is available, which I'm hoping it is. Oh wait, did I prize 2 Charmanders? Oof, that's pretty bad. I should have realized that earlier. Alright, there's a Noctowl, there's a Pidgeot. 2 Charmanders prize definitely means it's important for me to control the pace of this game, if you will. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the Noctowl. With that, we need Stadium, Candy, and Stadium because we need to increase our bench size at this time. Pretty lucky that we found an energy to be able to pull this off. If not, I would have needed to quick search for an energy. But so far, so good. Go Prime Catcher. Does it get farmed by Bolt? I mean, it did get farmed in the final, right? Which is way more consistent than Bolt. Final of the regional. There's the attachment. Bench, Prime Catcher, Picardy. We've been using Prime Catcher super early. And yeah, Prime Catcher, when you have such powerful supporters like Dawn, Prime Catcher, like being able to play that super powerful supporter and Dawn feels so good. Alright, I will Poffin for an extra Duskull. This should guarantee that my Charmander is safe, right? Like there's nothing could possibly threaten Charmander at this point in time. I don't think. Like it's impossible. As far as I know. As far as I know, it's really impossible. Alright, another Iono. Now it's fine. I have Pidgeot. I can just search for anything I need. What was my price? It was not a Charmander. The price, well, it doesn't tell you. Oh, the Hoothoot. It was Hoothoot. Totally knew that. Alright. Yeah, Terapagos also adds this dimension to the deck where it lets you be super early aggressive. So I'm glad I started it. I'm glad I started, because if I had it and I tried to be with the Giant Energies and then they Iono'd me, I would not have been able to get this knockout, or I would not have been able to play the areas. Which seems like a fair trade, but this way we did the best possible play. Only 1 Ralts means quick search for boss. Quick search for boss. No problem. Or could be Noctowl for boss. Okay. Well, maybe this is a little different. Because the Frillish, my opponent could go Gel Scent, Counter Catcher, attach, KO my Charmander. And that would be a little problematic. So I'm going to be forced to Noctowl for the boss and probably a Dawn. Or maybe just back-to-back boss, honestly. Kind of like that. And I'll just quick search for the Charmeleon. That sounds pretty good to me. He can't win anymore because Fez is in play. I mean, maybe? I don't know. Like, yes, Fez being in play is always pretty good for this sort of deck, having the 2-pricer, but I don't think it's like clear-cut. Oh, it's game over. Alright, Unified. I think it's game over because of my opponent's very slow start. Well, because they weren't able to bench 2 Ralts. I think that's the biggest. So, Frillish comes up. My opponent knows I have a boss's orders in hand, so they have to find Night Stretcher. Okay, third back-to-back Iono. I can still quick search for the boss, so they really need Night Stretcher, and they discard a Night Stretcher first turn. They could get Super Rod plus Artisan as well. They could Secret Box for either. My hand's honestly pretty mediocre. Did I lose a Hoothoot? No, I prized a Hoothoot, which I then unlocked from the prize cards. So that might be what I quick search for. Or just the boss. So I'm thinking here, if I quick search for boss knockout routes, then like that continues to slow down my opponent. I have not unlocked Charmander yet. That Charizard top deck is actually pretty good. But here's what I think will happen for the game. This deck definitely wants to go second, I think. Well, I've been choosing second. Actually, maybe that's wrong, actually. I feel like second, because that way you have a higher chance of benching Charmanders, right? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I go boss this turn once more, and evolve into Charizard to protect my Charmeleon. Have energy. And I go down to 3 prizes. Then I don't have any more ghosting effects. But that probably doesn't matter. Could go boss KO fast too. Maybe that's better. No, because then I won't. Or maybe just KO the active is better. So I was thinking, go boss KO this turn, then I knock out Frillish, but then I have no control over KOing a 2-prizer, right? Maybe that quick search for boss was a little preemptive. I mean, I do have Duskull, so it would be nice to not have to deal with item lock. Yes. Now that my Charizard has evolved, my opponent needs so much. They're down 1 Bravery Charm. They would need to be even playing Drifloon. And they would need to... And even if they are, then I can go Dusclops KO the Drifloon and then boss KO the Fez. Maybe not without Noctowl, but yeah. So I should have planned this better. I changed my mind mid turn as to what I wanted to do. But yeah, I've been choosing second with this deck every time. Not sure if that's correct. If that is correct. You do have 4 Nest Ball, 4 Poffin, 3 Charmander. Fan Rotom, of course. So I guess I didn't watch the final. I would go back and watch the final, and if the winner was streamed any other games, I'd just see what they picked. When they lost a game, or if they won the coin flip in game 1, what did they pick? And then that will tell you. Maybe it's first though. Okay, so we let my opponent establish the Charizard, the Gardevoir, right? They have played 3 Ionos, so my hand shouldn't be changing too much. They can KO the Terapagos, no problem. I can't... If they take 2 prizes, I can't double pop. Unless if I top deck Dawn, maybe I can actually. But that wouldn't... I can't Dawn and Briar. Oh, actually, never mind. I have game in hand. I go quick search, Dusknoir, Candy Dusknoir, pop, knock out anything, and then boss KO Guardy or Fez, and I just win. So we have game in hand. I'm glad I kept the boss. Like, boss would have delayed my opponent's routes. Okay, well, they go after the Charizard. Oh, I have Jet. Never mind, I have Jet in hand. Not my Prime Catcher, but I have Jet. Fine. Confusion won't matter. This is game over. This is 100% game over. We're just waiting to win. Still haven't lost with this deck. Still have not lost this deck. And obviously this is a... I feel like I'm winning just because I'm setting up, right? Like I'm winning because my deck is attacking and being aggressive. And I'm able to find whatever card I need every turn. Which is pretty broken. The most interesting game was definitely the first one. Right, the mirror match that we played for the first game of the stream, that was pretty good. And by good, I mean like it felt like I was behind, but but I was still able to do it because I had an extra Hoothoot that my opponent didn't. Because I limited my opponent's Duskull. So yeah. If I didn't already have 2 of the 3 pieces, it would not be as simple, right? So this were Noctowl would be pretty important. I mean, I quick search for the boss anyways the previous turn. So fine. And want to see a concession from my opponent, so I'm just gonna go boss, the Guardy, just so that we have to click less times. Oh, there we go. Goodbye Screamtail, retreat, Charizard, boss KO, the Guardy for the win. 3 prize turn. But yeah, I'm winning more just based on my deck doing what it needs to do, right? And being versatile. And we had that one turn where I definitely played suboptimally with attacking with Terapagos, where I missed attacking with Terapagos. It would have left me with a Charizard, an unpowered Charizard on the bench with no energy, and I think I was down my Prime Catcher. I would have had 1 more Jet Energy left, so maybe that would have been a little overkill at that point, but I did not do it, and it worked out well anyway. All right, so all right, now, okay, we finally have our worst hand. Okay, so Variance has caught up to him. Variance has much. I mean, I'll definitely attach. I have the option to be aggressive. But yeah, now we don't have Fan Rotom active. We don't have a Hoothoot. We do have Candy, so we do have 4 Dawn, 2 Pidgeot, and 1 Ultra Ball. That's out, so 7 outs to the Pidgeot. Oh, we're up against the same person, so let's pretend it's a best of 3, right? They chose second. This is game 2. Hey Ashla, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Alright, Iono probably saves us. No, Dawn, no. I mean, we get Iono again? Oh, I guess, never mind. The foolish means we can't Candy Pidgeot. And we can't Poffin either. But the bottom 6 cards don't have an energy. These now 7 cards don't have an energy. So hopefully there's an energy here of this Iono, so we can at least attack the Frillish. Alright, we do find energy, and not much else, no Charmander, but it's just enough to take this knockout and hopefully free ourselves from the item lock. Hopefully, we'll see. Prize card, hopefully free ourselves from item lock. All right. Okay. So far, so good. Everyone does have the Fez. We get Iono again. Okay, what? Well, now this hand sucks so much. That's really bad. What went to the bottom? I mean, I didn't have anything good anyways. We could still top deck Dawn, right? We have not seen a single Dawn. I haven't shuffled my deck and we have not seen a single Dawn. But wow, my opponent got the Candy Guardy. I wish I had benched the Fez. But yeah, now things are looking pretty scary, right? This is the complete turnaround. Why Tablemon? Because my name, or my last name, is Mesa, which it's not spelled that way, but Mesa in English is table, and so table plus Pokemon, table one. That's it. That's why. That's the reason. Alright, so my opponent benched the Frillish. I wonder if they're gonna try an item lock. I don't think I like this. I mean, the 3 on the Pidgey is pretty good, obviously. But I don't know. I don't like this. I feel like you can remove my Terra from play, which makes everything just so much more complicated for me. Stopping items, stopping my forward candy. Like, this is definitely very safe for my opponent, so I don't fault him for doing it this way. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too aggressive sometimes. And yeah, I'm glad you're watching. All right, now we have a Charmander. We do have energy to retreat. I can also bench another Pidgey, which my opponent could knock out both Pidgeys. So maybe it's better to bench a Hoothoot. I mean, if I bench the Pidgey, it leaves me in a pretty good spot after item lock. Like I said, like, I don't think my deck has been shuffled, right? I haven't done any searches. I've been under item lock this whole time. And I have yet to see a Dawn. So there's been a lot of cards that got put to the bottom. I don't know exactly how many, but like, it was my starting hand, then Iono, then my Iono, then their Iono again. So like my 4 Dawn, if I didn't prize any, should be within the next like 15 to 20 cards, I think. Yes, Starray. When I was a kid, that was something that many people would sing to me. Especially when I was a kid, that song came out. So, alright. So Ashla, since you're just tuning in, we've played, I think this is either the 6th or 7th game that we have played with this deck. I haven't lost yet with it, which is pretty impressive. Pretty good. This is the first game where I've had like an awkward start, so we're hitting the variance that you would expect normally, of course. We've been running pretty hot, our opponents have been running pretty okay-ish, I want to say. Nothing spectacular. So does my opponent go Screamtail snipe the Charmander? I feel like last turn was a big missed opportunity for my opponent. They could go Screamtail snipe both Pidgeys, right? They can Adrenal Brain KO one Pidgey, Roaring Scream KO the other. But yeah, I'm feeling like I also haven't seen a Noctowl, I don't think. Right? I haven't seen, yeah, I would have played the Noctowl. All of my opponent's Ionos and my own Iono. I have not seen a single Noctowl either. So if we assume everything's not prized, there's 3 Noctowls and 4 Dawn within the next 15 to 20 cards in my deck. So I'm due for a top deck. Oh, that's my point. I'm due for a top deck. So we're gonna knock out the Pidgey. Do they go after the Charmander or do they go after the Pidgey? That is the question. Charmander is the safe play for sure. Charmander is the safe route. I will no longer be under item lock, so I will have access to Prime Catcher. My candy will be live. If they knock out Charmander, I can candy into Pidgeot with the right top deck. If they KO the Pidgey, sorry, if they KO the Charmander, I can candy into Quick Search to Pidgeot, I mean. Alright, so they Lily. So you should be Liling before retreating. That's pretty important. So what do they go for? Alright, so they deny the Pidgeot. Okay. So they're... I like that, but I definitely would have liked them. Like, if that was your plan, then I think knocking out the Terapagos much earlier would have been a lot better. Okay. Our top deck's still pretty bad. I mean, do I power up the other Terapagos at this point? I don't think just take the knockout. Can I get a Dawn of the prizes maybe? Shaggy, so I'll definitely do, there's the Dawn of the prizes. I'll definitely do dedicated live streams to play against people. For now, since things are not fully configured, apparently, I don't know why the alerts are not working or not. I want to make sure everything's working perfectly, and then I'll get to that. Yeah, this is my first day back to streaming. So I'll eventually get to that, and I'll offer the opportunity for people, no, my Dawn, to play against me and whatnot, try out cool new decks, etc. But for today, I don't plan on streaming too much longer. This is probably actually the last game of the stream, but I promise in the future I will eventually have live streams where I play against people. I promise. Alright. But yeah, I didn't realize the time. Having so much fun. Alright, so this game, I feel like it's still pretty winnable, thanks to the Terapagos aggression. And yeah, like, my opponent's really intent on denying the Charmanders, right? Which makes sense, in a way. But I'm also down to 2 prize cards, right? So Monkey Dory, the Duskull could be my undoing, yeah. Like the extra prizes my opponent keeps getting off of my bench Pokemon be my undoing. But I mean, I literally have played one supporter. I saw a Dawn and it went away. Alright, so our top deck is still no Dawn. Okay, so I need to Fez for sure, and I need a good Fez. Like a really, really good Fez. That is a good Fez, sure. My Prime Catcher is still live. I can't get Dusclops. Well, can I win this turn? No, I can't. Can I? I don't think I can. I go Dusclops, KO the active, and I have enough bench Pokemon with Prime Catcher to win. I have the Klefki. I also need a way to retreat, which can be the Dusklops. Oh my gosh, can I do this? I don't think I can. Okay, I definitely need... Okay, I need a basic. I need a Noctowl. And the stage 2, it doesn't matter. I have Prime Catcher and I have Poffin. Do I have Ultra Ball? I do have Ultra Ball. So... do I have it? It's 2 basics, so I need Poffin. Oh no, I don't have it. I definitely don't have it. Never mind. Definitely do not have it. So... so the... Pidgeot should have been Dusknoir. Pidgeot should have been 100% Dusknoir. Yeah, I think I overthought this. But I need to make sure that my opponent can't take 3 prize cards next turn. So it might have to be Candy Ultra Ball. Candy Ultra Ball. And then it's gonna come down to fast draws probably. I'll need the basics. Alright. So this should put the Dusknoir pretty safe. If it has 1 Monkey Dory, they can only get 2 Monkey Dories, so there's nothing that can get knocked out at the time. Yeah, so instead of the candy, if I had found Ultra Ball, sorry, instead of the candy I had found Prime Catcher, I wouldn't have had enough Pokemon to knock out Fez or Latias. So we're just gonna take this KO. Now we have our own Fez. Gonna get another prize card, and now we have Dusknoir as well. So, which probably doesn't matter. The worst case scenario is what? My opponent knocks out Fez, right? And then I need okay. So how many stadiums are they down? What's my favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Nidoqueen. Definitely Nidoqueen. Because I got 3rd place at Worlds with it. And Logan, yeah, you're welcome. It's nice chatting with you too. How I've been choosing first? No, I've been choosing second this whole time. I went first this game and it's been really bad. I don't think going second would have helped me, but I've been choosing second. I went first this game, it went pretty bad. I would say because of Fan Rotom, maybe it's correct to go first. I'm not entirely sure. Gera, ¿le ves futuro a Hydrapple X? Antes de la rotación, no. Antes de la rotación, no. Después de la rotación, cuando ya no haya Golden o Raging Bolt, Guard y Charizard, quizá. Pero quizá con el engine de Dawn, puede ser. Puede ser. Yeah, maybe going first is correct. Going first is correct. Alright, so my opponent's gonna super out Screamtail and Frillish. So what's the plan now? I feel like if they don't take a 2-prize knockout, are they down? They're down Secret Box, right? So I think our stadium is gonna stick. Yeah, they're down Secret Box. They have 1 stadium, maybe 2 left. So if they go Screamtail, KO Charmander, and we go Boss Kirlia, Pop Dusknoir, Monkey Dory, KO Kirlia, or whatever. No, if they go Screamtail, we just go Pop Dusknoir, attack, win. They need to Screamtail KO Terapagos or Fez, but they need Bravery Charm to do that. Okay, well there's Diancie. That's good for them. So if they use Diancie KO Fez, that's a problem. They need Counter Catcher is a big card here, which they Arvent, right? And they did not grab it. So maybe they're just gonna KO the active. They grabbed Earthen Vessel. They just KO the active. Then I need to get Candy, right? Candy off of... Wow, with the Bravery Charm, Charizard doesn't even KO Mega Diancie. Oh, but Dawn still works because I have my Prime Catcher, even if they heal. So we just knock this out. J-Con me parece buenísimo. Buenísimo, la verdad. Oh, you have 13 days? Oh, you have plenty of time, Logan, for sure. Definitely give this. This deck's pretty good. Y sí, me parece muy bueno, J-Con. Muy bueno. Excelente deck. Me ha fluido fantástico. Este es el deck que peor, este es el juego, perdón, que peor me ha jalado. Y estoy a nada de ganarlo. Do I still like VGC? Yes. Yeah, so part of me wanted to like, you might see me stream VGC and other Pokemon games as well in the future. I'm moving houses in a couple months, so that's gonna be a little chaotic, but once I'm established in my new place, what I would love to do is like, oh, choose bench to discard. I almost messed this up. What I would love to do is like have TCG days, VGC days, Pokemon Unite days, and TCG Pocket days, and maybe Pokemon Go days as well. Just like to everything Pokemon, you know? That's something that I thought about. Right, that does it, right? Dawn wins me the game. I mean, I have, yeah. I think this does it because I have Prime Catcher still available. So I somehow, oh wait, what? Oh, Charizard's in hand. I was like, wait, what happened to my Charizard? I thought for a second I didn't have Charizard. My last 2 prizes were 2 Charizards. Oh no, there's one in the discard pile. It's fine. So now we go Candy Prime Catcher. Oh, I don't have a Terra. Never mind. I needed to draw with Fez first. Whoops. Oh my god, I still got the Prime Catcher. Okay, and I got the Terra. Okay, so I messed this up. I needed to draw with Terapagos first. I did the thing. I did the thing. So what I should have done was draw with Fez and see what I get. And then that determines what I do, right? Or at the very least, play the Dawn to thin the deck, maybe. No, yeah, I should have played the Dawn, grabbed the Terra. With the Terra, I evolve, grab Candy, grab Prime Catcher, Super back Energy, and win the game. But I did not do that. But yeah, I was a little too overconfident right there. So the game we lose is to my misplay. Dawn was the perfect top deck. I've grabbed Terapagos and the Noctowl, and then that was game. Yeah, grabbing Candy and Prime Catcher, and into Super put back energies, etc., etc. Whoops. Maybe even. Yeah, I know the streak. I know. Las alertas están duplicadas. Really? Yeah. So, Jacob, thanks so much for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. Dragonite, thanks so much for the follow as well. So yeah, I had all the pieces to win the game. I just did it wrong. I forgot about the Terra thing. I generally forgot. Yeah, it happens. Whoever has told you that they don't have that happen is probably lying to you. Because everyone does that. Literally everyone does that. Yeah, but I just did it. Live on stream, it happens. Yeah, if I just slowed down and done it, the streak would have continued and we would have been able to win this game. Pretty good game though. Showcasing how like just the early aggression with Terapagos. My opponent was very intent on dealing with my benched Pokemon. But I feel like if they had dealt with the active, the one thing that was pressuring them, they might have been in a better spot. Especially, I think they had one turn where I had like 3 basics, hadn't played anything. I feel like if I had Dawn, I probably would have played it. So I wasn't holding back on that. They were probably holding back my candies. I don't know. Maybe that was a little overzealous. Maybe exposing the Guardy there when the Candy Charizard could have happened. Yeah, so anyone who has told you that that they've never forgotten, that they've never played down Noctowl without a turn in play is definitely lying to you. We've all done it at every level of play. We've seen it on stream. We've seen it everywhere. Yeah, it happens. Part of it. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone who tuned in. Yeah, that should be like an achievement unlocked indeed. Thanks so much to everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow I'll be narrating in Spanish, but of course always feel free to join in. I'll also be live streaming on the Spanish channel instead of the English one. And then Wednesday we'll be back with more English TCG action. And yeah, I'll find some cool new decks to play from Stuttgart and this Phantasmal Flames metagame coming soon, maybe towards deck, since he did play that Mega Charizard EX deck. We'll try to play with it tomorrow, see how it fares. Thanks so much to everyone. Thanks so much to the people who subscribed. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all soon. Now I have to go back to real life adulting.